Stupid Garbage Podcast.
Oh, I like that. And we're off.
We're off. Away we go.
You're so sweet.
Let me sit up. Here we go.
Please.
Want from here?
Yes.
So our heads can be like here.
Oh, you want me to? Oh, okay.
So I'm saying some heads can be relatively on the same plane. Maybe
I'm way closer.
What are you gonna do?
Alright. I'll talk quietly because that's my forte.
So what you got?
ASMR. Oh my god, what a fucking day it's been.
Tell us about your day.
Oh my goodness. So I woke up and I took Peaches out and I spent maybe straight up 4 hours just playing with the lizard, which is too much time to just be playing with a lizard, but I was like, no. And he climbed an entire flight of stairs all by himself. That's 14 steps.
I was told he's often let out from the kitchen, which is on the first floor, into the area just outside the kitchen, which is like the base of the stairs. He's often let to go out of the kitchen through that doorway because I've been reassured many times he could never get up the stairs, so what's the harm?
Yeah!
Apparently he can just go right up the stairs.
I've seen him, like, again, because whenever he's out, I'm with him usually, and I watch him, and I often lay down in whichever room he's in, and I just, like, kind of, hang out. And I've seen him look at the stairs, and he claws at the stairs, or, like, he'll just, like, look up and, like, be like, what's that? And then he'll, like, look away. I've had him since November. Rob, do the math.
Yeah, 6 months.
I've had him for 6 months, and not once has he ever even tried to go up a stair. So, it completely, all of a sudden today, he was like, no.
Well, I'm trying to think.
I'm pretty sure we didn't let him, like, I kept that door closed.
Yeah, for
a
while.
little.
He's only been out of the kitchen in that little, whatever it is, 3 by 5 foot area at the base of the stairs, like half a dozen times, and he normally just goes behind.
He goes pretty often.
Your little corkboard.
Yeah, what he'll do,
chills there.
It's carpeted, so especially once it started to get into really heavy winter, like January, February, I started being like, okay, I should let him into the carpeted area because he'll be less cold he won't be on the tile floor. But, so he usually just goes and he crawls underneath a corkboard that I have, like, propped up against the wall.
He also likes the tile floor. He likes the cold.
I know, whatever.
But anyway. So
but I was afraid
he
he
can
would
climb up the stairs,
get
which is,
hypothermia.
It's like when, I hate to, I don't know about keep referencing them, but I hate to reference them as frequently as I do. But in the Terminator movies, like, as soon as Skynet comes online, like, whatever, I can't remember, there's something that's like the predecessor to Skynet. Skynet is obviously the big, the computers that, once they get online, and I think it's like 2023, or maybe it's earlier, maybe it's like 2016, we already passed it. They get online and they kill, they unite all the computers and robots, and then they kill all the people.
Yeah.
What's the predecessor to Skynet? Whatever. This is like when the predecessor to Skynet gets online, and everyone's like, oh, great, now all the computers can think for themselves. It's like, no, man, in 2 years, this thing's going to be murdering hundreds of millions of people.
I know, I was worried, like, he's getting exercise now. Like, it's not just like, oh, he can, like, walk around the room. It's like, no, he's, like, climbing things and working on his arms and legs, and he's just, like, it's all bicep, too. Like, he'll climb with his arms, and then he'll pull the rest of his body up. He doesn't use his back legs at all. So he's gonna get crazy strong arms.
I think he did it.
Yeah, he climbed every single one.
I think he's as strong as he's gonna be. I'm gonna look up the predecessor to Skynet.
Okay. So anyway, that's what happened with Peaches, and then he basically crawled underneath a bag of laundry and stayed there, and then stopped breathing for a little while, so then I heard him wheezing, and I lifted the bag off of him, but I did take my eyes off him for a minute, so by the time I lifted the bag, like, who knows how long Peaches had been there for, but I lifted the bag, and he goes for like 5 straight minutes, and then he yawned, and so now I'm upset for Peaches, and maybe I broke him, I don't know. He crawled under the bag, it was his own fault, but anyway.
He's fine.
I think he's fine too, but Peaches had a very exciting day. I let him crawl around with no regard to anything, so he had a blast. And then I think like halfway through the morning, Rob comes up to me and he's like, hey, are you free at 6:30? And I was like, or no, it was yesterday maybe. I don't know what it was.
No, it was today.
It was today, and he was like, yeah, are you free at 6:30? And I was like, sure. And he was like, yeah, go ahead.
I can't figure out what the predecessor of it was, but in Terminator 2, because I'm illiterate apparently, in Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Sarah Connor states that Judgment Day, the day Skynet comes online and they try and shut it down and it sends out a nuclear attack in retaliation, is August 29th, 1997.
Oh.
So it was just before my brother was born.
Way off.
He is now 22. So yeah. It's already come and gone. But anyway, it's entirely irrelevant to the point I was making. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically he's like, be free at 6:30. I was like, okay, what are we doing? And he goes, I'm not going to tell you. I was like, oh, okay. And I think he said, but we're going to leave at 6:30. And I was like, okay, so we're doing something out. And then I played with the lizard until straight up like 5:30. And then I fucked around or like 6. And then I fucked around for a minute. And then we went out.
Yeah, you played with the lizard for 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it was
a long time.
A really long time.
Plus, you were like, okay, I'm taking him out at 12:30. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I think it was 2 to 6.
And then let's say it was 1, because I don't remember. You're like, I'm taking him out, and then he was out for like an hour, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna feed him now, and you brought him upstairs, put him in the bedroom, put him down, and then you came out of the bedroom and were like, all right, I'm gonna go downstairs for a bit.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, what do you mean? Where's Peaches? And you went, oh yeah, he's in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But the door's closed, so he can't get out.
Yeah.
And he'll just he'll find his way into something, and then he'll be there. What does it matter?
I was right.
So anyway, you kept him out, then you fed him, and then my recollection of it, maybe I'm going crazy, was that you brought him downstairs at like 3:30 and you went, okay, it's time to put the peach away.
Yeah.
And then you came back downstairs, or upstairs, like an hour later, still holding him.
I fed him.
I couldn't do it.
I fed him.
Yeah.
And then he ate in that little room that's carpeted, and then what happened? I think I stepped away for a minute. Too, like he was eating and he finished.
Stepped away 2 or 3 times.
He finished eating, and then I went and I put his food in Tupperware because I was like, okay, he ate, and I'm gonna save the rest of his food. So I put his food in Tupperware. I gave him a little bit more squash for tomorrow's meal. Packed everything up. I don't think I did anything. Oh, I refilled his water bowl, and then when I came back, he started climbing the stairs. Like he was already on the first step, and I went, holy shit, Peaches can climb the stairs. I have to see this. So then I sat with him while he climbed the stairs, which probably took like a half hour or something. So by the time, and then I brought him up, and then he like walked along the hallway, and then he crawled into the room that Rob was in. So yeah, I was gonna put him away at like 3:30 or 4, and then he climbed the stairs, and I got excited.
This feeds further into my perception, at least, that you are not fully aware of the capabilities that this lizard
who knows
possesses, which again means you shouldn't just like leave him alone, and then go to a different floor of the house, a different story of this building.
Yeah, no, I should be better.
While he's totally unsupervised. Yeah, because you don't know that he can't like get up under a bed or like climb into something that you don't know.
Yeah, I
did not know he could climb the stairs.
Yeah, that was shocking. I'm glad that I found him when he'd only climbed one stair. Who knows? And I don't know if he can climb downstairs.
Yes.
Well, he climbed onto my leg to climb down a stair. Okay. So I don't know if he can fully climb down a stair. Like, I don't know if he would slip and he could get really hurt. So I would never let him go up or down the stairs unsupervised. And again, I usually don't leave him in a room. But I was in the middle of making food. And I was going to put him away. And then he fucking climbed the stairs. So anyway. Peaches. I love that little runt. He's such a good dog. But yeah, usually I put him away when he stops being active. Like once he finds a place, like he goes behind the billboard and then he'll sleep, I'll say, okay, it's time to put him away because he's been sleeping. But if he keeps moving, I usually let him out because it means that he has more energy that he wants to expend. And I'd rather him, be able to do whatever he needs to do than be stuck in a cage all day. So, my God. Anyway, sorry about all that Peach talk, but I'm obsessed with him. Every time I look at him, I've started to cry lately, so it's been a whole thing. Anyway, so then Rob and I went out, and he would not tell me where we were going. He wouldn't tell me anything. He goes, we're going to make one stop, and then we're going to go to our place. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah, well, you're not going to get out. So he took us to the grocery store, and I was like, okay. And then he got out. 5 minutes later, he's back in. We're back on the road. I'm like, okay. And then we start driving, and I'm, like, speculating, like, what are we doing? Could it be this? Could it be that? Where are we going? Are we going to meet someone? Is it just us two? Like, what's the plan? He wouldn't tell me. And then, finally, after, like, an hour and 15 minutes after we got to the grocery store, or after we left the grocery store, we get to a fucking drive-in theater in Poughkeepsie, New York. And My God, it was just fantastic. Oh, God. So we saw Trolls 2 and The Invisible Man.
We did see both those movies.
For $10 each. It was crazy.
$10 total.
Like, yeah, $10 for both movies per person.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Good time, fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome.
I thought you'd like that.
My God. It was such a nice surprise. And it was perfect. Like, it was a perfect quarantine activity because they were like, please make sure that you're, like, far away from each other in your cars. And even if you get out, you need to wear a mask. And
yeah. There were other movie theaters, at least drive-in movie theaters, that were a little closer, but they all... I think all of them had movies we had already seen. I think one of them...
And they were very old, too, which I thought was weird.
Well, I mean, like, new movies aren't being released in theaters for months because of the whole coronavirus. Yeah. But, I mean, no theaters are open, so... But...
Yeah, but I thought, like... Because I know Trolls was released to stream, so I thought...
I think it was both.
Okay.
Trolls
was like probably the cusp.
Right on the edge, yeah.
The Invisible Man, I think, was in theaters before Corona hit.
As was Bloodshot, the Vin Diesel superhero movie.
Yes.
That was the only other movie that was playing at any other drive-in that we hadn't seen.
Oh, that's crazy.
One of them was like Jumanji and Dr. Dolittle, and one of them was also Jumanji and something else that we'd seen. I don't remember now. And then one of them was Bloodshot. And then, I think Dr. Dolittle. Like, Dr. Dolittle.
See, we could have done that and just only seen one movie. Although, yeah, it is weird that there's always, like, an adult and a kid.
I thought that, but two things. One, you said you had said that you'd wanted to see, like, of all the movies that I can remember, like, kind of coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, one of them was Sonic the Hedgehog was one of them,
okay.
Which we haven't seen.
But you refused to see it.
I didn't want... Right.
Yeah.
There were like two... There was Bloodshot and Sonic the Hedgehog were the other two. But
I would have seen that one.
Both of them... Right. But both of them were paired with... It was like Dr. Dolittle, which we saw, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Or Bloodshot and Jumanji. Like, those were... So... And also, of those four movies we haven't seen, Trolls, Invisible Man, Bloodshot, and Sonic the Hedgehog, Trolls and The Invisible Man were the two that you expressed having wanted to see.
Yeah.
You kept saying...
I would have seen Bloodshot.
You said once...
And Sonic the Hedgehog, actually. But you're right. I think if out of the four, it would probably be The Invisible Man.
Yeah, you said a couple times you wanted to see The Invisible Man. I said, really? It doesn't look that interesting. You went, no, I think it looks good. And then you said every single time we saw the Trolls preview, the trailer, you said, oh, that looks amazing. Like, it's a kid's movie.
That's true. I did say that.
You went, no,
Rob. But the main character was the hard rock troll, and I was like, how can I not?
Yeah,
there's a lady with a mohawk. No, the protagonist.
Well, okay.
Yeah, so do you want to review the movies?
Why not? We can do do like half review for each one.
Yeah, we'll do like a little mini 15-minute, 10-minute review.
20-minute.
55.
Yeah.
So Trolls, as you know, like I love kids movies and you make fun of me for it all the time, but I have to say I found Trolls to be like a little bit too childish, which was fine. It was a kids movie.
Yeah.
It was fine. But it wasn't like as mature. Which again is fine. I've never seen a Trolls movie.
I think this was just the second one. I don't think you're missing out on like an entire franchise. I don't think this is like the fifth Minions movie or something.
Yeah, but I didn't have a comparison or a scope of what.
You keep talking for a minute.
How childish it would be. It was very cute. I thought the fact that they had characters embodying genres of music, I thought that was kind of a cute thing that I hadn't really seen before. So I did like that, and I thought. It gave a lot of creative freedom, and I thought they utilized that well. Obviously, I identified with the hard rock antagonist, so you say. I thought she was the protagonist, but she was super cool. It was Rachel... Can you look that up, too, actually? What's her name?
Bloom, I think.
Rachel Bloom, who is the lead in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which I'm obsessed with. I love that show.
Yeah, so if I may, Trolls World Tour is... the sequel to the 2016 movie Trolls, based on, as I told you, and you said no, the Troll Dolls.
I don't think it's not based on
Troll Dolls wrote Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Matilda, among other beloved childhood classics.
Oh, you're funny.
Thank you.
Zoe
Deschanel, John Cleese, Gwen Stefani, Jeffrey Tambor. This was the original one.
Oh.
But then This one I think also had Zoe Deschanel. Anna Kendrick, Justin Timberlake, Rachel Bloom, James Corden, Ron Funches, Kelly Clarkson, Anderson Paak, Sam, his Paak is his name. Sam Rockwell, George Clinton, and Mary J. Blige. I think there were other people. Like, I think Chance the Rapper was in it.
Okay.
It was a pretty.
You said The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock was listed as being in it, but I don't
Weird.
remember him being a character.
There were a lot of random characters that were very briefly introduced, but...
Yeah, if you look up the cast, he's the first one. So if you look up the cast, it's,
star-studded.
It shows like 15 actors, and it says each one of their, like, Ozzy Osbourne plays this person, Chance the Rapper plays it. But then The Rock, it just says Dwayne Johnson. It doesn't say who he plays.
Himself?
So, I mean, I don't know. So,
yeah.
He's in it, apparently. I just don't know who he is. Let me click IMDb.
Weird.
It's not much of a review. It's more of a comment, really.
That's true.
He's the only one who doesn't play a voice part. He's just in it.
Okay.
Let's see. Kenan Thompson, etc.
While you do that,
please.
I'm trying to think of what else to say. I mean, do I give the plot of the movie? Like, what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So basically, there's...
I don't think he's in this movie.
There are a bunch of trolls, and they were all... There was like 5 genres of music or something, 6, I don't know, that were given there was a magical guitar at the beginning of time, and each guitar string was a different genre of music, and then they eventually started like fighting over, it basically was like a racial allegory.
Well, that was definitely an element in it.
That was weird.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, you can go.
No.
I've been going this whole time.
So I wondered, watching it, how young... It's very clearly a kid's movie geared towards, let's say, an under 13 audience.
Yeah.
I wondered how young it was supposed to skew in because if this is geared towards like 11-year-olds, they might, maybe not, but
they probably would pick up on it.
They might pick up on some of like these are like they're green, whatever, but they're like the black characters, like the funk, and they have their own alternative history, and they're I get
well, the characters are voiced by black people,
right,
and they look
people,
like all of the races look different.
They all wear do-rags, so I mean it's clearly that's what they were trying to do with it. I wonder how young the movie was supposed to skew, whereas like a 6-year-old would not pick up on that. Although
at the same time, I don't know if they were even trying to do that, or if it was like, they just wanted to be inclusive, and like the reggaeton music, it's like that's stereotypically like the Latin or Latinx situation. So like I don't know if it was like, trying to like separate them into racial groups, or it's just like it is what it is. Like the K-pop, like obviously K-pop is, Korean
pop.
So I think you can't really like represent a genre of music. Like if they made a white person a K-pop star, or a white person like a reggaeton star, like it wouldn't make sense, and it wouldn't be accurate.
Reggaeton.
So I was like, I don't know how I feel about it, because it's like it was very, but they might have also like done it up a little bit. I was having a hard time telling.
Yeah.
But anyway, some of it I think was a little bit overdone. Like it was almost... Anyway. But yeah, so there was a lot of racial... Like at first, basically, the plot begins where everyone is like, we're different. We don't want to share the music. We want our music to be the only music that we listen to. So they ended up like... I forget what... It doesn't even matter. But they ended up like splitting it all up. And then each... society gets their own string with their own music that they like, and they just only play their own music in their own area of the land. And then the hard rock antagonist character wants everyone to be united under all 6 strings, but she wants to turn all 6 strings into hard rock music.
Rock and roll.
So everyone's, what was it? Like we're all united under rock.
All in this together.
Anyway.
Oh, that's why Dwayne The Rock
Johnson
was playing rock and roll.
So yeah, but basically like the spoiler alert, the whole thing where they were like, wait a second, like, we are different, but in order, like, you can't pretend that we're not different, and you can correct me or say this more eloquently because I kind of just babble, but they're basically like, the way to solve the fact that we're different is to like pretend that we're not different, because like the main character is saying, but we're all trolls, we're all the same, we're all the troll species, and they're like, no, idiot, like, we're all trolls, but you have to, in order to like come together, you have to acknowledge that we're different and like accept it.
So yeah, it was basically, there are all these different types of trolls. You're correct.
Yeah.
All these different types of trolls or humans. Whatever. That's, you know, the subtext. And they have their differences, but, you know, they're not all the same. Their differences make them unique. They make them special. They make them who they are. We celebrate them, and we learn to live together with, in spite of, and it's stronger because of those differences. You know, it's a racial allegory, whatever. I would have loved, absolutely loved, as at the end they're all singing like, oh, no one can do the music that you do, and, you know, you're special, and we're all celebrating our differences. If there had been one character who tries to get included and is not a troll, and so they just tar and feather, like they turn fire hoses on this person, like old school,
oh my God,
1940s segregated racism.
This is just a troll thing.
It's just a troll. Our tolerance goes so far. It's a slippery slope. What's next? Humans marrying dogs.
Oh my God.
Trolls marrying gnomes.
Oh my God. But some of the trolls were centaurs, which is weird.
It's Poppy and Branch. Not Poppy and Melinda. Not Adam and Steve.
Melania. Yeah. To me, like, it was just a very heavy movie. Like, usually, like, kids' movies are like, accept everyone, love everyone, be who you are, happiness. But this one was like, all races are good, love yourself. Like, that, it was just very heavy-handed, and, like, I thought it was a very ambitious undertaking for a kids' movie to tackle race.
Yeah, I think it was, I think hear me out. I think it was...
I mean, kids should know it.
Music first was the primary point.
Yeah.
And then also, you know, we're making this movie about different types of music. Why don't we sprinkle in a little bit of race stuff?
I just thought that was weird. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like kids... Ow, my God, my nose.
I'm sorry. You had something on your nose.
Oh.
She has a little bruise.
So my brother was teaching me how to load a gun, and he... is it called cocking again, I guess?
Sure.
Like, once you shoot it...
It went awry, a bullet came out of the chamber and popped Jessica right in the bridge of her nose.
Thank you, that was very succinct.
Yep.
Yeah, it hurt a lot. It wasn't good. I ran right into Robert's arms and sobbed for hours. And, my nose is swollen and bruised, and it's not a good time. But anyway.
I didn't mean to hurt you.
It's okay. It's fine. But anyway, so yeah, I again don't think that kids' movies usually tackle something so... Like, the kids should know it. Like, the kids should be taught it. I don't know. Maybe it's just been a long time since I was a kid, and I don't remember... Like, maybe other movies kind of deal with this stuff, like... I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying.
Yeah.
Wherein you wonder how much it's skewed towards kids.
Yeah.
Like, if it's meant for, you know, it's not a G-rated movie, but if it's meant for little kids, and then, you know, like, this racial subtext is for the parents, and I often see people, you know, who, you know, Aquaman, Namor, the Submariner, Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
What are we doing?
Sea people.
Okay.
I often...
oh, God.
I often see people who say, you know, people who have kids say that you appreciate when these cartoons, like, put stuff in it for adults that make it, you know... But at the same time, like, how do you care? You know, like, if this movie...
Yeah.
if this movie is geared towards 5, 6, 7-year-olds who aren't going to get this racial stuff, then this subtext is for like the parents to kind of pick up on.
But you should already not be racist.
Well, not only that, but like, regardless, like I don't need. Like, I guess if you're saying, oh, I'm trying to teach my kids to be tolerant of other people, fine. But if you're like, oh, no, it's just so the story's more interesting. Like, I don't fucking... I'm watching Trolls World Tour. I'm just zoning out for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I'm taking my kids to it.
Yeah, like, I never understood that, too, where it's like, oh, people of all ages can like this. It's like,
It's like, but... oh, we put in jokes that are like, you know, kind of flying under the radar if you don't, you know, if you're not an adult, you're not going to get them. Or, like, they're 20-year-old references that, like, the kids will just be like, what?
But like, don't confuse my kids.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't just make a movie for kids. And if your argument is like, well, we're trying to, you know, make your kids smarter and make them think, fine. But don't be like, oh, yeah, no, the kids aren't going to get this one. Like, fuck.
Yeah, they don't have to be like raunchy to make them smarter.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch a Francis Ford Coppola movie. I don't fucking need Trolls World Tour to have racial. I could watch Do the Right Thing if I want.
Yeah. Terrible movie.
Yeah. Do the Right Thing?
Yeah.
Well.
I mean, I was forced to watch it.
I'll grant you, knowing you, I know that movie had way too many black people for you.
Oh my god.
6 times more.
No, I think I was just like forced to watch it for my movie class, and I just fucking hated it. But one of my friends who wasn't even in the class crashed it, and he watched it with me, and I was like, ugh, I guess I have to go. So I just, you know, I was just in a bad way back then, but I don't think I liked it visually, and you know that's like my number one movie comment always, and I just didn't think I didn't like the way it was directed, and I didn't like the visuals of it. But anyway, the visuals strictly being the colors of the people. Kidding. Anyway,
no, just go ahead.
Thanks for laughing.
No. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna let her flounder.
Thank you.
I'm gonna leave her on the hook for this one because I don't think she believes in this one enough for it to stand on its own.
Anyway, so is that all you have to say about Trolls?
I'm trying to think. There wasn't much of. So as Jessica mentioned, there were like these 6 regions and whatever. It seemed like for a movie this long, it was 91 minutes. I see here.
Yeah. And
it felt about 91 minutes.
Yeah. Maybe a little longer.
It just seemed like to kind of go into 6 different realms, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really have enough time for me to give a shit about.
It was like 9. They added like little sub ones too.
Yeah, I mean that's true. But yeah, I didn't like the for example, they went to the country one, and then there was a minor brouhaha there, a small conflict, and then they left. They were there for like 10 minutes, maybe not even, like one song and a half.
Yeah, it was very
and
brief.
Then it was just felt very, probably just a way for them to get as many types of music as possible, so their whatever soundtrack can be, but as marketable. But
I'm gonna download the shit out of those songs.
Right. Do you remember what you said when Justin Timberlake was singing his song?
Oh, I hated how cheesy they made his song, and I've been waiting for his song the entire movie. I'm still gonna download it.
No, that wasn't it. He started singing, and you got chills. And then he sang the first verse, and then the chorus, and then so it's Justin Timberlake, and opposite Anna Kendrick. Really, the main character is Justin Timberlake. It's the love interest, and so Justin Timberlake sang the first half the song, and then it became a duet. Anna Kendrick came in, and you turned to me and you went, "Oh well, now I'm not gonna download this."
I mean, I thought Anna Kendrick did a good job. Like, that wasn't the issue. I just, her character was really annoying, and also Anna Kendrick is kind of annoying, no offense.
What's wrong? Well, I mean, none taken personally, but what's wrong with Anna Kendrick?
Her whole thing is just...
2:43 a.m., dear reader.
She just is like... It's kind of like the whole, like, why you don't like Rebel Wilson, or why my brother doesn't like Rebel Wilson, is like, they say that she's too much of, like, a character type actor, and she tries a little too hard to be her type. I feel like Anna Kendrick is the same way, where she's like, I'm so awkward and I can't do anything right, and it's just like, okay, but she plays like the same exact character in every single thing, and it's just kind of, stop, please. So, and she doesn't have like a big personality. Like, her character is always so like 3rd or 4th side character, kind of. Like, I feel like she should never be the main character, and I don't think she is ever the main character in things. I think she was the main character in Pitch Perfect, but she didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
that's
like,
how she got famous.
But
really.
again, like, I'm just like, okay, like, but Pitch Perfect had so many people in it that I'm like, you're not the lead. You're just getting lost in the sauce, and I feel like she's
lost
like that.
In the sauce.
Yeah, like I remember Rebel Wilson more than I remember her.
Well,
from that movie.
I don't remember Pitch Perfect exceptionally well.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it and then afterwards thinking,
did I watch anything?
No, I could have. This movie was built around the soundtrack. You know, this movie. Oh, you're getting a lot of water on me.
Well,
like a lot of water. Half of that water went on me.
It already happened, so.
No use in apologizing.
Yes.
So anyway, I remember watching the movie and thinking this was a soundtrack. They got the idea to do this soundtrack, and then please don't.
I'm getting it away from you.
Onto my piece of paper.
No, it's nowhere near your paper.
Please stop doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyway, I think that someone said like, oh, if we had this soundtrack, we could make a lot of money, but let's make a movie out of it and we'll make even more money. Kind of like when you see those movies like 2012 or The Day After Tomorrow or whatever. It's not like someone had an idea for, oh, this will be a cool story, a cool movie, a cool character study, and also there can be a tornado in Manhattan or like a tidal wave, going over the White House. Someone said, wouldn't it be cool if we could put a tidal wave going over the White House in a movie? And then they're like, let's make a plot around that. Let's make that our movie. Let's just fill in. Let's get Jake Gyllenhaal or John Cusack or whoever the fuck and make this movie. Dennis Quaid can be the dad, I guess, or the grandfather. Who fucking cares? Let's put an earthquake that rips the Hollywood sign in half.
I loved The Day After Tomorrow.
That seems. How many times have you seen it?
Probably
because that seems impossible.
Twice tops.
That's 1.5 times too many.
No, I loved it. I thought it was so cool.
But again, so the Day After Tomorrow is you watch 90-second total, probably 90-second clip of the Day After Tomorrow, like, oh, look at that, the Statue of Liberty, like the poster really of the Day After Tomorrow, where it's up to the Statue of Liberty is like snowed up to the elbow or whatever it is.
Sure.
Like the entire, which doesn't make sense because it's like the harbor, but whatever, fucking I don't care. It's on an island, I guess, whatever, fucking who cares.
Why? Because it's like the lowest point?
No, because the snow, if there's that much snow, it would like dissipate into the harbor. But
well, maybe
the ocean freezes,
iced over,
so
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
whatever. I don't fucking care. I don't care. But you see the poster and you're like,
Can
oh, that's
an ocean
cool.
Freeze?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But so it's just we need a lot. Whatever. Well, again.
I mean, obviously it physically can, but like, has an ocean ever frozen before?
Like that? No.
Okay.
So anyway, not in fucking New York. So anyway, it's not the Ice Age. No one fucking cares. Not my point. My point is that you see it on the poster and you go like, oh wow, that's cool. I'm gonna go see this movie. It's gonna be 2 hours of something that cool, and it's not. You see that and you're like, okay, now it's just this shitty movie justifying that being on the poster.
No.
Justifying the tornado again, the tornado ripping through John F. Kennedy Airport or picking up the Empire State Building in the trailer, So it's Pitch Perfect. When I saw it, struck me as that. It was like, oh, they had this.
So do you feel like that way about Trolls?
Well, no, I was just talking about Pitch Perfect.
Okay.
Trolls, Trolls, obviously, I think they just made a kid's movie with music in it, and then they made a sequel, because the first one was successful at the end. But, yeah.
Trolls apparently is, like, ruining the movie industry. I saw a post that was... It really, really, really went into that conspiracy theory.
So Trolls was released, a limited release, and then coronavirus came out, so, like, we got to do something with this. Released it on streaming, on whatever, Hulu Plus or whatever the fuck. And it broke all these single-day records for downloads and people. And then NBC was like, oh, yeah, we're going to start doing, like, at-home live streams simultaneous to being in theaters. And then NBC said that. And then AMC said, yeah, no, then we're not showing your movies in our theaters. We're the biggest movie theater chain in the world, and you're not... No, fuck you. And so people are saying, like, this movie's success, Trolls World Tour success, streaming from home, showed that, the world is ready for streaming only at home.
No.
And maybe that's true with all this fucking bullshit that's streaming. Everyone has like 6 different fucking accounts. But if you think that this wasn't an isolated incident due to this once-in-a-century type event, you're a goddamn moron.
Yeah.
Like, this is changing everything. Like, no, this was the first movie that anyone could see after 5 weeks of being locked in their house.
It's not like Netflix hasn't been around getting just out of the theater movies already.
Again, Tiger King was the most streamed or watched or whatever the fuck, downloaded, I don't fucking know, whatever the metrics are, series ever. Like, you really think that...
No shit.
You think that people are watching Tiger King just because of Tiger King? Like, no one would know what Tiger King was if this had come out last March.
I don't know about that. I think people still get weird and fad stuff on Netflix, but it wouldn't have gotten this big.
The weird fad stuff stays niche.
Yeah,
people like, have you seen Sense8? It's like, no.
That's true.
Because there are 5,000 other shows on 30 other platforms. Again, I think I've mentioned this on the podcast, and I'll try and do the brief version. There was some article I read on, let's say, ESPN that argued, is baseball still America's national pastime? And the pro was like, yeah, it's part of the culture. It's, baseball and apple pie and blah, blah, blah. You can't change that. Even if people stop watching baseball, it doesn't matter. It's part of the identity and the history and blah, blah, blah. And the counterpoint didn't say that football was the national pastime. It didn't say basketball. It didn't say anything. It said there is no national pastime anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are 1,000 different things that... There's no water cooler talk anymore. There's not anything that you go into the office and everyone saw this episode of Seinfeld last night. Everyone saw the game.
That's true.
Everyone is doing their own fucking thing all the time. Everyone's always plugged into everything. And so there's no national pastime. Everyone's doing 1,000 different things. So similarly... No one would... There wouldn't have been like this moment of cultural unity around Tiger King, nor around Trolls World Tour. Like, if you made the argument like, Marvel...
Yeah, it's a weird
like if it was like,
too.
some big, like, it was projected to make $2 billion in the theaters, but then this came, so then we couldn't... if it was a Marvel movie or, like, a Star Wars movie or something...
Absolutely.
You really think Trolls the World Tour is the movie that's going to break the movie theater industry?
Yeah.
You think that's going to be the film that redefines... What are you, a fucking moron? You'd have to be an idiot. So anyway, moving on.
And again, like, we've had this conversation, because you and I have Movie Pass. Most people that we know aren't really that into movies that they would do Movie Pass. So we've had this argument a bunch of times where we're like, there is something to be said about going to the movies.
Yeah.
And, like, I really value that experience. I like, bringing a snack into a huge theater and, like, munching on my movie candy and,
we should,
making it an event.
Yeah. We should at least get to The Invisible Man if we want to. You're right.
No, that's all I have to say. I just,
Fine points. But also, shut the fuck up, men are talking. Men are talking.
Ooh.
The invisible men are talking.
First of all, both protagonists in both the movies we saw were women, so maybe
I thought that was unrealistic.
Dick Rob.
How do they know what to do?
And the movie we saw yesterday, the protagonist was female.
We saw 2 movies.
We saw Alien vs. Predator.
And before that, do you even remember what movie we saw?
We've been watching a lot of movies lately. What was it?
Start with an S. We don't have time for this. It was Sucker Punch.
Thank you.
Zack Snyder.
Female led.
Yeah.
Oh shit. We are on a fucking roll. I didn't even notice.
So anyway, in The Invisible Man, go for it. Give us a 60-second summary.
It was really slow and boring up until the halfway point in which things just kicked into high gear.
Yeah, Janet Jackson performed. You saw her nipple.
Stop it. Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, there you go.
No, yeah, I don't remember when specifically it changed, but I literally turned to Rob and I was like, oh shit. Is this not interesting enough for you anymore? Yeah, it got real dark real fast, and there was a lot of just random murder and stuff. I liked it.
You know what she did? Well, I guess she didn't. Never mind. I was gonna say she, the main character of this, she stayed sexy and didn't get murdered.
Oh.
But she didn't really stay sexy. Because she wasn't really sexy to begin with.
I mean, it's interesting because there's like a whole thing about her where like I saw an article that was like, these women were purposely made to look worse in the things that they were in, but they're actually really attractive. Like, the girl from The Witcher, how like she started off as like a hunchback with like her eye was whatever, and then like
prosthetics and stuff.
Yeah, but then within The Witcher story, she, spoiler alert, became attractive, but it was like that, where it was like, oh, like this is how, like, or like the girl from The Exorcist, they were like, this is how she looked, and this is what she really looks like.
Sure.
And like they did what's her name, Elizabeth Moss in Mad Men. But I was like, even when she's like pretty, she is like way more attractive. They did make her look really gross in Mad Men for whatever reason, but I felt like in this movie too, like she's in a lot of movies that they just make her look unattractive.
She's not that good looking to begin with, though.
She's very normal. Yeah, she's fine.
What's her name?
Elizabeth Moss, I think.
This is Elizabeth Moss? The
Yes.
woman in this movie we just saw?
Yes.
I thought she was like a model.
That's Kate Moss.
Kate Moss. Yeah. Yes.
You got him.
Gotcha. Yeah, she's not attractive.
Yeah, she's whatever.
She's like 80% forehead.
Yes.
Great googly movie.
She's a very sharp nose.
She's a normal look. Well, she might be a little less attractive than average.
Sure.
Yeah, she's not a good looking.
Sure.
Woman.
But
anyway,
like she is a lot more attractive than I think she looks in most movies that she's in. Like I don't think that they try.
Maybe.
Like, you know, even with movies, they often like, you know, if you have an average looking woman, but you do her hair really nice and you give her, you know, a nice highlight and you know, give her false eyelashes or whatever. Yeah. You know, you can make an average looking woman look really nice, but with her,
isn't really that good looking either. She looks a little like an alien.
She's just a good model.
Okay.
She's just good at her job.
So, did you like this movie though? Halfway through.
Yeah. I again, like in the beginning, I was kind of disappointed because every single scene, for the first like maybe like 7 minutes straight, like I'd seen every single one of these shots in the trailer, so I was like super disappointed. And like, as you can see in the trailer, it starts off with this girl running away from an abusive boyfriend.
Yeah.
And that entire scene, like, you start off and she's leaving the boyfriend. I'm like, oh, like, I already know how this is going to end because the trailer shows me what happens. And, like, that was kind of annoying.
Good, like this movie, like any other Tyler Perry movie, this is how it starts.
Yeah, and it was...
Someone abusing someone.
Yeah.
Why Did I Get Married Too? That one has The Rock in it, actually.
So did The Invisible Man.
Yeah. He was the Invisible Man. You just didn't get to see him. You had to smell him.
But yeah,
that's how you found
gross. So yeah, so I was disappointed that they tried to make the beginning scene scary, but it couldn't have been because it was in the fucking trailer. So there were a lot of scenes like that where I was kind of just disappointed. There was a shower scene in the trailer too that they cut from the movie, which I thought was weird. Like there was a scene where she was in the shower and she looks over and she sees a hand pressing into the vapor.
Oh yeah.
That was in the trailer.
That wasn't
and then
in the movie.
No, there was a shower scene
Peculiar.
in the movie, and I was like, oh, they cut it out. Why?
Queer.
Maybe it was too scary.
I doubt it.
Or she was too naked.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That
I thought that was weird because again, that scene, and I was like, oh god, another one that I've already seen, and then she just gets out of the shower and everything is fine, and I was like, wait. But yeah, it was pretty. There were a lot of things that I found very unbelievable in this movie. Spoiler alert. Should I not?
No, go ahead.
Okay,
I was gonna say I don't think that's a spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. She does slit the throat of a man, and in real life, she could not do that.
What do you mean?
She's not strong enough. If I came behind you with a knife and tried to slit your throat, you would grab my hand and you wouldn't let me slit your throat. Like, there's no way that her strength could have overpowered this guy's.
I don't know if you're decisive. I don't know.
She slit his throat with his own hand.
So it was funny. Towards the end of the movie, I thought, having looked it up, that the movie was maybe 20 minutes longer than it actually was. I thought it was an hour 20, and it was like... Or I thought it was 120 minutes, rather. I thought it was 2 hours even, and it ended up being like an hour 40.
Okay.
So, I thought...
You said just under 2 hours. So I assumed it was an hour 40 anyway.
So, well, no, it was 2 hours, but I said... It doesn't matter.
Okay.
So, I saw the clock, and I thought, okay, this movie's got like 25 minutes left. I'm going to go run to the bathroom, be back in 90 seconds.
Oh.
I get up, I come back, the guy, the main villain, bleeding to death on the floor.
I told you not to leave.
But so anyway,
I was like, "This is a pretty intense scene."
My point is that I come back, he's dying, and I said, "What happened?" And you went, "He killed himself." And then they started talking about it, and I said, "Are you sure that she didn't put on the Invisible Man suit, turn invisible, and then like grab his hand and slit his throat with his own hand and knife?" And you went, I was gone. I was inside a building and couldn't see or hear the movie.
Yeah.
But I pieced that together. Faster than you, despite the fact that you were staring at a tremendously large screen.
I got a text and I read it. I'm sorry.
You went to another planet. You forgot the last 20 minutes of the movie.
He looked like confused as his throat was being slit.
Because he wasn't doing it.
But she was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then you see her just like staring out the window. And then all of a sudden you see his throat get slit. And I was just like, oh. And then you see her come out from the bathroom screaming. So I was like, she couldn't have done
invisible.
it. Also, like,
kills him, then goes back to the bathroom, takes off her.
Also, this is also assuming that we live in a world where you just put on the suit and it works.
I think that was.
How would she know how to turn it on? Like, I'm sure you have to.
She must have tested it before doing it.
How could she have fucking tested it? She didn't have the suit.
She clearly had it at some point. I don't know.
She never had the suit. Otherwise, she would have turned it in. Oh, maybe she did it because the brother.
Yep.
Look. Maybe it was the brother's suit.
The guy's no, man.
No, she broke that.
No, come on, Jess.
Come on, Rob. Be nice to me. I didn't think they made it obvious enough, to be honest. Maybe they didn't. I'm going to go on YouTube and I'm going to rewatch that scene because I don't think that I'm that oblivious. I'm pretty sure they either didn't do a good job or I was paying less attention on the movie and more on my phone, but I apologize for that. Anyway.
This movie's really hard to follow if you don't watch it. So
yeah, it's true.
Keep that in mind.
But the rest of it, I thought like a couple things were unbelievable. I forget what else now that it's necessary that I remember it. Oh, like how the Invisible Man kills people and punches people and stuff, and then makes it seem like Elizabeth Moss is the one that did it. But like the scene where he punches the young girl, it was very like they were making eye contact when he punches her. Like the two women were making eye contact when the Invisible Man punches the girl. And the girl still thinks that it was Elizabeth Moss.
You can't say the two women and the Invisible Man and the girl. You have to keep a constant. No one's seen this
Elizabeth
movie.
Moss.
Person A and person B are talking.
Elizabeth Moss and the
person B.
Elizabeth Moss and the young girl were talking, and then the Invisible Man, while he's invisible, punches the young girl.
Yep.
But Elizabeth Moss and the young girl were literally making eye contact while the young girl was punched, and she still thought that it was Elizabeth Moss that punched her. So, to me, I was just like, no. Like, that was, like, you guys were looking at each other. No. Her hand did not move, and then you were punched in the face. Like,
yeah, I also thought it was strange. Immediately, so the movie starts out, Elizabeth Moss runs away from this abusive dude, and then he immediately kills himself, apparently.
Is that you?
Yeah, it's my hand.
Oh, my God. Like this. I thought there was an intruder.
Oh, my God. So, he pretends to kill himself. And then, terrorizes her and abuses her and blah, 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 blah. His brother's in on it, blah, 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 blah. She immediately knows it's him. Never distrusts her instincts or thinks that she's going...
That was weird.
And, immediately starts figuring it out and is, never afraid. And, it's from point... Pretty much, the first point in the movie wherein this plot is ongoing. She's immediately, telling people and she's immediately... skeptical, and no one normally in these movies, this person has this theory, descends into madness, does a bunch of crazy shit, and then is like, no, it's because this person's doing stuff, and by then people don't believe them because they're already crazy. Yeah. She was telling people before she was crazy, really. Yep. She was like, literally, I think he's this guy who was 28 or whatever, however old he was, this 30-year-old man who was a billionaire and the pioneer of what optics. It said the first 5 minutes of the movie. It's he was a pioneer in the field of optic technology. I think he might have found a way to become invisible. They're like, no, you're fucking crazy. Get out of my house. It's come on.
Yeah, that was
maybe has a. I mean,
and again, she literally said she was
crazy shit's happening.
He does shit like this to me all the time. I've been in a relationship with him. I know how he works. Why would no one trust her? Yeah. What it seemed to me like the sister was bro, you're going through all this shit and I just can't with you anymore. It seemed like the abuse, she had been confiding in all these people already during the abusive relationship, so it seemed like they were already so sick of her, and they were like, hey, you clearly already have some shit.
She wasn't, because, after she fled from this guy's house, they said, oh, you haven't told us anything about, the past 3 years of your life. It seemed like she was very isolated. Whatever. It was kind of a weird movie. Yeah. Wasn't terrible.
Certain things weren't really, thought through.
Would you recommend... Both these movies, would you recommend them?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yes and yes.
I enjoyed watching Trolls. It was cute, and again, whenever I can relate to a punk bitch character, I'm happy. Yeah. And then The Invisible Man, again, I thought that the beginning was a little bit difficult to get through, and I was I'm not sure if I really like it or not. I also was really skeptical of watching it because I thought that what Rob said, it was going to be a madness story where you watch this girl slowly go crazy.
Yeah, she really doesn't.
which I was really happy that she didn't, because it was really infuriating, especially after watching Sucker Punch. Like, it's infuriating to me to watch a character that no one believes, and they just struggle, and they're like, but I'm right, and I'm gonna be murdered, and the people are like, fuck you, you're on your own, we don't believe you, you're stupid.
There was some of that. But she didn't really go crazy, which the trailer made it seem like she was like fucking
like in
bananas.
a psych ward,
nuts,
like
insane. But she wasn't. She was like, I know what's happening. It's annoying, and getting to the point where he's like murdering people in broad daylight around me, and I can't do anything about it because he's invisible.
Yeah,
but I'm not fucking crazy.
And she wasn't even that mad about it.
She has some faculties about her the whole time.
I'm in a psych ward. Like, you guys,
even in the
come
psych ward,
on.
she comes up with this plan, which works, to like stab him in the neck, and ends up killing him. So, but again,
even her friend, she's like, please, like, just admit I didn't do it. You know I didn't. Like, she was never like, oh my god, my life is ruined. So I was very happy that I thought the movie was gonna be really hard to watch. And I didn't find that to be the case. And again, once you got through the beginning where it was a little bit slow, where she was like trying to convince everyone, I think once things started to really get going, they really got going. And I enjoyed the movie for sure.
Cool.
It wasn't like amazing. And I wasn't like, wow, I have to recommend this to everyone that I know. But I'm glad that I saw it.
Oh, cool. That's that.
What about you?
I agree.
Okay.
There you go. See you later, pod racers.